Since thanks to Korea Fair Trade Commission and Korea Consumer Agency to invite Vietnam Competition Commission to join this workshop, this conference. And I would like to share with you the topic of the trend and emerging issues of consumer protection policy in Vietnam. As you may know, the consumer protection is becoming more and more essential and growing strongly in the world. And also international and regional cooperation is becoming the current inevitable trend, and also growing stronger than ever. And we need the synchronous and timely participation of relevant agencies and organizations, even the responsibility of our whole society for consumer protection. And one of the important trends of consumer protection is the acts of infringing on consumer rights are increasing with wider scope and more seriousness. Information and data of consumer also become the valuable assets of businesses. So it's also become the abusing the businesses also abusing this data of consumer to for their businesses. Also in practice, the more smart business model appear, but also being used to infringe on consumer rights with more sophisticated and complex form. The current law may not keep up with the fast development of the actual situation. And our consumer protection law is gradually become the basics and framework law of consumer, and even that it should be supported by many other relevant law. I would like to share with you the news issue of consumer protection law in Vietnam. For the trend of consumer and the main problem of consumer, our colleagues from Bangladesh, Philippines, and Taiwan already shared with you, and also this is the same situation in my country. So I don't want to focus on this issue or matter, but I want to introduce some emerging issue from our new consumer protection law. I'd like to share with you that Vietnam National Assembly just passed, the promulgated the new law on consumer protection on 20 June of 2023, this year, and this law become effective next year, 1st of July of next year. And we put many new and emerging issues to this law. For example, you can see I show those issues on my slide. The first is the consumer information, the data privacy or personal information. The second issue, the protecting consumer in the transaction on cyberspace or even in the digital economy. And the third issue is the protecting the vulnerable consumer. And the fourth issue is the using celebrities like a KOL or reputable people to advertise or sell product to consumer. And the fifth issue I want to mention here is the mechanism to support effectively dispute resolution between consumer and businesses. And last but at least the sixth one is to promote sustainable production and consumption, and also the responsible business in our nowadays. Even there's still some other issue, but I just want to focus on this sixth issue on my presentation. And here, beside of the new law on consumer protection, that were enacted in June. Now, Vietnam government also trying to develop and drafting the other document like a decree of the government and decision of Prime Minister to guide the implementation of the law on consumer protection. And for the first issue, protection of consumer information, on the new law, we regulate that the information of consumer, not only the personal information of consumer, even include the information about the purchase and use of product and services of consumer, and other information related to the transaction of the consumer. And before collecting or using the information of consumer, the businesses should must notify clearly and publicly in a form suitable to consumer about the proposed scope and storage period. The businesses also should establish the mechanism for consumer to choose information field that consumer agree, accept the information for provision of product or service, or as a request of consumer. And also before the changing of the purpose and the scope of using information of consumer, businesses also re-notify and also should obtain the consumer consent on such changes. For the second issue, protecting consumer in the transaction in cyberspace and digital economy. This is also one of the important provision on our new law. And according to this law, enterprises in cyberspace shall include two types of the enterprises. First is the enterprises selling product via their platform, themselves platform or system, and also the enterprises who set up and operate a digital platform. This is the two kinds of enterprises running the business in the cyberspace. For the enterprises which established or operate an intermediary digital platform, they should, beside of the apply the general regulation, they also should be responsible for additional duty. For example, they should designate and announce the contact point and authorize representative to coordinate with the agency. They also should construct and announce the operation regulation which clearly specify the responsibility of the involved parties. They also should designate and announce the contact point to receive and resolve the consumer complaint and feedback related to product. And they should publish the report on content censorship activities carry out or at the request of competent agency. Actually, there are several new regulations for the duty of enterprises which run business in cyberspace. So I already put on my slide. I don't want to repeat here to save our time. You can refer to my presentation. And for the last digital platform, the new law also regulates the responsibility of those company, those enterprises. For example, the last digital platform should set up a kind of the advertisement just use algorithm to target a specific person or specific group of consumer. Sorry, I got some problem with my throat. And also, and for the third issue, protection of vulnerable consumer, our law regulate the vulnerable consumer consists of elderly people, people with disability, children, ethnic minorities, women who are pregnant or nursing a child under 36 months old, or people suffering from the serious diseases, and poor household member. So here is eight kind of eight kind of people, which clarify as kind of the vulnerable consumer. For vulnerable consumer, our law also give some priority regulation for them. For example, vulnerable consumer are guaranteed their consumer right, and they can get the priority policy from the enterprises and even from the governmental regulation. You can refer to my slide here. And enterprises should not refuse to settle consumer complaint or request for dispute settlement for any region of different in language, writing, custom, or practices. It means if the any enterprises reject to settle complaint of consumer because of the language, different of language, writing, custom, or practices, they should be violated our law. And the another emerging issue is the using celebrities to sell and provide the product to consumer. According to the new law, influencer here consists of the expert, reputable people, or the people who are noticed by the society in a specific field or industry or professional. But here now we are drafting the guideline, the decree, the government decree of guiding this law. We will specify more for the what is the influencer people, and we will have a specific regulation on each group. And for the influencer, that provision that whenever they promote, trade, or encourage people to buy and use product or service, they should give prior notice to the consumer that this is a sponsor program or that is a sponsor content. So this is our regulation. And also they should comply with advertising and even the press regulation whenever they join any program to promote product to consumer. For the fifth issue, sustainable production and consumer and responsible business practices, this is also one of the new issue in our law. And on our new law, we have a regulation to encourage and promote investment, production, distribution, export, and import of the environmental and friendly product, good service, and technology to work green economy and circular economy in order to enhance the interest of consumer. And also they have some facilitation provision for company who provide the friendly product and environmentally product. And another issue is the mechanism to support dispute resolution. According to our law, the consumer can utilize the four type of the methods. First is negotiation, second is the mediation, third is arbitration, and the another one is through the court. And for the new law, we have a new regulation that consumer can utilize the different method and different way, not only the offline, I mean the direct in-person way, even they can utilize the online way to settle the dispute between the consumer and enterprises. And also we have a provision for promoting the international cooperation, especially for the cross-border dispute resolution. So this is very new in our new law, and also have a very special provision for social organization of consumer protection. Whenever they sue the case, they on behalf of the consumer to sue the case for the public interest. Whenever the social organization sue the case for the public interest, they can follow the law judgment or decision of court. But in the case we cannot clarify or identify the beneficiary. So the compensation for the consumer or compensation for the social organization should be used to serve for the joint activity for benefit of consumer. And now our government try to clarify the situation. How can we use this compensation? This is a very new regulation, and also I think it's very common in another country. We call as kind of the class action. For class action, whenever the consumer protection association, they sue the case for the class action in the class action case. So we cannot count. The court cannot count the compensation. And how can compensation to circulate to the specific target people? So in that case, this compensation should be comply with the specific regulation of the government. So now government will regulate for this issue. So this is not own. Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt. I think that time is up, so my apologies, but can you wrap up?
Yeah, that's on my presentation, but this is on the issue I want to share with you, but not on the issue from our new law and our practical. So I just want to share with you the some main one, and I really thank you for your listening, and for the question we can feel free to extend later. Thank you so much.